No, like this is dust, right? But like in this crack.
Ready? Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Dela Criss. What?
I didn't know you was about to start.
I told you were about to start.
Yeah, I know it's recording.
I'm Dela Criss if you're new here. This is my husband.
Meyer Criss.
Oh, you say it like that. So we have some big news. I've been talking about it in our Insta stories, and I think I said a little bit about it on here. But today we just wanted to make a sit down because I don't know. I always like looking back at these videos and to see where our head was when we made the jump. I was looking at our video that we did when we first started RVing, and that was pretty interesting. So I just wanted to document on here, let you guys know what's next and how you guys can be praying for us. So you were teaching and coaching.
Yeah.
And what you about to do now?
Now I'm starting a trucking business, a trucking company.
Yeah. So we're starting a trucking company. Obviously starting off small. We bought a truck, a semi truck, which I don't know that I ever thought that I would buy.
That never been part of like the goal or like the okay, I gotta check this off my box.
Yeah. It was kind of on our plan. It's something we threw around at first, but it's not something that I don't know. It's amazing. It's amazing and scary. And we kind of just had the idea. So we started off with wanting to, we considered hot shotting.
Yes. Because
during COVID, that was really big.
Yeah.
And so if you know, when we bought Meyer's new truck, like his regular truck, his 4-wheel truck, that's why we bought such a big one, because we were going to do that. But then why did we decide not to do that?
Oh, because it requires you to be further away from home, over the road.
And it's kind of lost the industry.
I ain't say lost, but it's like
it's lost some respect. Like it's lost some.
Yeah. So some people don't want to work with you because you're a hot shot.
Yeah.
Just poor reputation. Because a lot of these people that were non-CDL, they'll be picking up these loads, not taking care of the freight. So it has more of a bad reputation versus you having a semi truck.
And some people are doing it really well still. Yeah. And it's funny because even when we were thinking about hot shot, and I was like, I don't know, babe. I think you should still get your CDL because I'm just not about leaving money on the table. So I was like, if it's like more money to be got with a CDL, why not sit down and take a test? You know, I made it seem more simple than it is, especially now you have to go to school. As scary as this is, and we'll talk about our fears and stuff, one thing that gives me comfort is knowing that God was with us every step of the way. Because Meyer got his CDL right before they changed the rules, right? Yeah. Because
really weeks before.
Oh yeah, I didn't realize it was that close. So now you have to go to school to get which is better.
Yes, but it costs more.
It's more expensive.
It takes a longer amount of time. Yeah. You gonna edit that out? You gonna edit the fly swatting out?
I don't know. Okay, so yeah, every step of the way. So we bought obviously a used truck. That's what we can afford. What do we use? A lot of our money is tied up into this, and that's part of the scary part is that a lot of our personal money, because they say like don't use your personal money, get a business loan, and it's kind of like that rat race or that vicious cycle of like, oh, you need 5 years of experience to do this job, but nobody will give you the 5 years to do the job. You know what I mean? Like, and so we realized, you know what? If we're gonna be all in, like crazy faith, let's just do it. And that's where, for me, even when I'm teaching about finances and personal finance and stuff like that, it's like I'm about credit that makes money.
Yes.
Like I am different from like a Dave Ramsey, where I don't believe credit is scary and bad, especially if you're trying to start something from nothing. You better have somebody's credit.
You gotta have some good. You better have a good credit score, unless you got mad money
or a rich uncle or something. Yeah. Which we don't fall in those categories. So we had to do what we had to do. But I thank the Lord that it happened, and I will include a video of the truck. It's nothing sexy. It's simple. It's our starter truck. Okay, so I want to jump into Should we go into our fears or our why? Let's start with the fears so we can end on a good note. Like,
Okay.
what are you worried about? Like, what's your concerns? And I'll share mine because they might be a little different.
No, I mean, I guess because I know money will come in. I'm not too concerned about that, but just what? No, I mean, but it has to be the right numbers though. What? Why are you looking like that?
No, this is your opportunity. It's just interesting. It's just different the way we think about
I mean,
it.
I believe the money will come in, but it's
Okay.
about hitting the certain numbers to make it
Makes
worth.
sense.
Yeah, make it make sense. And I think also, we are big vision, so it's not just like us being able to feed my family or feed our family.
Don't jump into the whys. Are you just?
Oh, my bad. Okay. I'll leave it at that.
That's your fear. I didn't hear a fear. You said.
I just said a fear.
What was the fear? Oh, covering operating expenses.
Covering operating expenses.
Because operating expenses are high in the trucking industry between insurance and our
payments,
our truck
fuel.
payment, fuel. It's just a high. It's a high, but I believe high risk can be high reward if you're a good steward. And that's one thing we talked about was. It's crazy how God took us through the season of learning to be disciplined in our own finances. So now we can be disciplined in the finances of the business. And so that's a blessing that we got to exercise that muscle beforehand because it's going to take even more discipline. Okay, my fears. I got like 20,000. No, I think it's interesting that you say money's going to come in. I think for me.
I just have faith that it will. Like,
yeah.
Like, do I know how much? No. Do I know how little? No. Like, I mean,
I think because I'm a numbers person and I literally sit down and I write these numbers down over and over again. And I'm like, Lord, make it make sense. Make it worth it because we want him to bring in more than what he's bringing in now. So it's worth the sacrifice. And so I've been running the numbers over and over again, and it's possible. It is possible, very much so. It's realistic. Like there's opportunity even now with fuel being expensive. And that's one of my fears is that we are starting when the world is so unknown, the economy is unknown.
I mean, I guess I'm different, but that's what like my hope is. Like, shoot, if I can make it through this, I can make it through anything.
No, that's true. Like that's true. And a lot of businesses are birthed in rough economies, honestly, y'all. So that, I think for me, it's just how much will I be at home alone with the kids? Because that's a fear of mine. And maybe we shouldn't start the business the same year we're bringing home another newborn. That's what I think about. But you know what? God's been guiding us, leading us, so he won't let us fail. And not necessarily. So let me correct myself. Correct that theology. When people talk about crazy faith and doing big things, me and Maya talk about this a lot, is that how us trusting the Lord for little steps has given us the muscle to trust him in these bigger things. When I say that I have faith in the Lord that he won't leave and forsake us, that does not mean I have faith in the Lord that he's going to make us millionaires through this trucking business. That's not having faith. I have faith that despite what's going to happen, he's going to sustain us.
Yeah.
That's what it looks like to have faith. So I want to correct that. I don't want this to look like and sound like a prosperity gospel. Does he have the ability to make us millionaire? Yes,
Sure.
Lord, make it happen. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
Rain them blessings.
yes, we'll receive it. We have open hands.
Yeah.
But I wanted to correct that. So that's my fear. How much will I be at home with the kids? And so it seems crazy that we're getting out of football, and my husband was a coach and a teacher. It feels, and I know when we tell people this, they're literally rolling their eyes and they're so confused as to why we're going from that industry to this one if the goal is to get you home.
Yeah.
Again, we are long-term vision thinking people. Again, even looking at coaching versus the trucking industry, one, there's a strong possibility I could still see my husband more trucking, which is so sad. And two, one of the hardest things about coaching for me was, and the money was good. Like, it sustained us.
Yeah.
There's no room to scale. And I always would tell Maya the hardest thing is with coaching, if there's another event that week or something else that needs to be done or somebody didn't pull their weight and he has to do it, nobody's paying him more. Not that you're doing it for the money, but the problem was you were at a cap, and because you were at a cap and they owned all of your time, I realized they also own all of my time. Because you weren't making enough for me to hire someone to take care of the kids so I could go help. It just didn't make sense, and I want to see our kids. But, so I'm hoping that it creates more flexibility and opportunity.
Yeah.
So we'll see how that goes. And we know that the first few years, even just looking at some of the numbers of like just having your CDL longer can make stuff cheaper.
Yeah.
You know, having your authority is more important than you. That's what we learned. Than how long you've had your CDL will make things cheaper. Just when you prove yourself, which makes sense. When you prove yourself as a business, a lot of your expenses drop. So that alone, we were talking about how a couple of our bills would drop maybe $2,000 in a year. And I was telling Myra, yeah, but where are you gonna, like, when you were coaching, they weren't gonna pay you an extra $24,000, you know, in a year, just because, like, I don't, maybe where y'all are that happens. But so into our why, because this is scary, and for a lot of people it doesn't make sense, and it's stressful. There have been nights where I've had to pray just to go to sleep, or just to keep a normal breathing pattern, because I don't want to lie to y'all, make it seem like just because we have the faith that we're just like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, everything's gonna be butterflies and rainbows. No, it don't work like that.
Yeah, there's a lot of risk involved.
Yeah, for sure.
A lot of responsibility. But what's our biggest why? Like, what would you say is our biggest why?
To be able to, like, help our people, like, to be able to increase cash flow, to be able to build wealth and establish wealth, but also help other people.
Yeah.
So we can help a person that just got out of prison and help them get a job and be able to take care of their family and be able to feed themselves. We can help that single mother that has 3 kids or 2 kids. We can help that college graduate that don't know what they want to do with their life. We can help other people and impact people in a positive way.
Because we want to roll the cash flow into other things. Like, we have dreams, I've said it before, of owning multiple group homes for people who cost of living is literally stopping them from living. And so
cost of living.
Yeah. And so, I mean, the hope is not to just ball out, but to really roll it into other businesses and, remove some of those barriers to entry for people. Yeah. Because if you go to prison, or if you, whatever, if you have a stigma on your resume, you just don't have that same access. And I don't think that's fair. I think people should truly get second chances. And I heard this statistic. I need to look at who said it. Dang it, I can't remember. I don't know if it was the author of Think and Grow Rich for Black people. I don't know, whatever. The statistic pretty much was, with the amount of Black-owned businesses that we have, if each Black-owned business were to hire one person, we have the power to eliminate, and this is not that we're only going to hire Black people, y'all. Hang in there with me. But we have the power to eliminate joblessness. And I was like, wow. So just to think that we can solve our own problems. Like, we don't have to wait for somebody else to step in and declare a state of emergency or whatever on jobs. That helps. That's amazing. Just looking at the trucking industry, looking at how this could change Black men's lives or women, but people who thought that they maybe could never earn an honest living for their family, a good honest living. Yeah. This can open up the doors for them. And so we have big dreams, like, of where it could go. It's not the only thing we're doing. Like, we have a lot of ideas and stuff flowing through our head. But yeah, that is the biggest why. So we know it's hard. We know there's going to be nights where Myra can't come home, where he's going to be tired. Like, trucking is not as sexy as TikTok makes it seem. Like, we get that. There's some things that are easier when you're salaried, and you know what I mean? Somebody else.
Like, you don't work, you don't eat.
You eat what you kill when you're an entrepreneur. But that motivates me.
Yeah, for sure.
And I think that motivates you too. And so for us, we're just like, bring it on.
Yeah, and I just seen, like, personal growth in myself already. Like, and it's only been within half a year. So I'm like, oh yeah,
really,
we got to do this. Yeah, we got to do this thing. It's like, dang, I'm growing already, and I ain't ran a load yet.
We're gonna grow a lot. Just even thinking, like, mindset wise, just we challenge one another. Like, it's a lot. It's forcing us into growth, because there's a lot of things, like, okay, for instance, when I tell somebody how much the truck costs, they're like, oh my gosh, Like they almost have a heart attack, which I get, right? But then it's like, yeah, but I'm writing the whole entire truck off. Or not only that, back up. The truck is going to make me money.
Yes.
And then I'm going to go write the truck off.
Yes.
So literally the truck is free.
Yes.
But when you have an employee mindset instead of...
Or a salary mindset.
Or a salary mindset, which... That's not a good...
No,
some salary mindset to me, it leaves a negative taste in my mouth. Because it's like, I'm going to do... For some people, there's nothing wrong with earning a salary. People who have a salary... Because even if you earn a salary, I think you should have a CEO mindset. Mm-hmm. You should figure out, how can I contribute to this company in a way nobody else has before? That's my opinion. Mm-hmm. But, yeah... We don't want a salary mindset for ourselves. We don't want that for our kids. I do not want my kids to grow up and have to send in applications and pray that somebody hires them so they can eat. Yeah. So for me, it's worth the sacrifice. I don't care if he makes less money this year than he would have if he stayed coaching and teaching. It's worth the sacrifice. So it'll be interesting. Mm-hmm. It'll be interesting to see how our past experiences and like studying supply chain. I want to see how all that comes together, how the Lord uses all of that. Ways that y'all can be praying for us. Oh my gosh. We're having a baby. I think that's my biggest fear, is combining having a baby and then a new business is like a baby. Mm-hmm. And so even though this is our 4th baby, 5th kid in the house, you would think we have this down by now. But I just don't think we do. I don't think you ever have it down, because every newborn is different. So just praying that we get that timing right, because we want Meyer home for the birth. So yeah, that's the biggest thing. But we don't know when the baby. Obviously, we don't know when the baby's coming. So, and obviously we have overhead to cover. So he's got to run the truck ASAP. So just praying that works out in the Lord to keep us and protect us. And on the road, that's a big fear of mine too. Meyer will be on the road. The roads are dangerous. People drive like idiots. Yeah. For a lack of a better whatever. That's what they drive, like idiots. Anything else? Just strength for me while I hold it down at home. Strength for Meyer while he's learning a lot. And I'm going to be learning a lot, because I'm hoping to be able to do all the paperwork and stuff for him. I'm excited about being in business together. I always said I wanted to do that.
You always said that from the beginning.
Yeah. So I'm excited about that. So just be praying. Yeah. Whatever comes to your mind and heart, we need those prayers. Pray for the kids, because this is a transition, and I feel like kids feel transition, and they like Meyer home just like I do. And the goal is to bring him home as soon as we can, and you can do that. So we're gonna be grinding, and we're still gonna be intentional, because that's another part of why we want to live life. Our kids love to travel, we love to travel, and we don't want. It's not that we worship being rich. We don't want money to get in the way of us living the lifestyle.
The quality of life that we desire.
But yeah, so that's it. So I'm trying to get Meyer to start a YouTube channel.
I'm going to start one.
It's supposed to be, should I tell him the name? Did you get the name?
Yeah, I got the name.
Okay, so, but no, we'll wait on that, because we got to focus on the business first, and then, but I think it's going to be really cool. So I'll let y'all know, so y'all can follow him on there, and we'll probably put more trucking stuff on his channel, because y'all ain't here for trucking on my channel. But it's so intriguing. The industry to me is so intriguing. I can't wait to learn more about it and share it with you guys. So we'll put that on his channel, and I'll let you guys know when that's up and running. We love you guys, and we'll see you in our next video.